Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about this one probiotic strain that reverses depression in 30 days. And doctors don't want you to know this. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Dr. Strong. My mission is to help as many people as possible. I work with patients on a regular basis, virtually and in a clinic setting. And I made this channel to share with you things that you can start doing to, help with your health, because I think there's just a lack of information and there's wrong information out there. And so I put these in a little spreadsheet or a little document for you so that you can go back and watch this and kind of check everything off and make notes. And if you like this type of format or video, then please just like that button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more of these. I would love feedback about how I can make my videos better. But let's go ahead and let's dive into it. So with this, the single probiotic strain that has been shown in clinical studies to be as effective as antidepressants, but without the side effects. In fact, 64% of people who took this specific strain saw their depression scores drop by half in just 30 days. Can you guess what it is? It's called Lactobacillus helveticus R0052. And Big Pharma is desperately trying to keep this research buried. So like I said, I'm Dr. Strong, and what I'm about to show you could change your life forever. I actually have a friend who works in community mental health, and we've talked about antidepressants, SSRIs all the time, and he tells me that they have about a 15% success rate, and that only lasts for a few months from what he sees. And so this is where gut health becomes such a foundational key to not only your physical health, but your mental health as well. So if you've been struggling with depression, anxiety, or mood swings, and you're tired of being told it's all in your head or you need to be on medications for life, this video is for you. The research I'm about to share proves that your depression might not be a brain problem at all. It's a gut problem, and it can be fixed naturally, which is the great thing. So the gut-brain axis revelation, here's what the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know, is that 90% of your serotonin, your happy hormone, is made in your gut, not your brain. So your gut bacteria literally control your mood through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. When you have the wrong bacteria in your gut, they produce toxins that travel directly to your brain and cause depression, anxiety, and brain fog. But here's the incredible part. When you introduce the right bacteria, they produce compounds that act like natural antidepressants. One strain in particular has been studied extensively, and the results are nothing short of miraculous. Here's the breakthrough research. With this, in a landmark study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, researchers gave people with depression either this specific probiotic strain or a placebo for 30 days. And the results were stunning. 64% of the people taking the probiotic saw their depression scores cut in half. Anxiety levels dropped by 55%, sleep quality improved dramatically, brain fog cleared up, energy levels increased significantly, but here's the kicker. The placebo group saw no improvement. This wasn't just a feel-good effect, this was real measurable change in brain chemistry. And the strain responsible for these incredible results, Lacto helveticus R0052, I know that is a mouthful, and its partner strain, Bifidobacterium longum R0175. Now there's some more that have other contributions, which I'm going to go over later, so just stick with me till the end. So here's how it works. So how does a bacteria fix your gut depression in your brain? It's actually pretty fascinating. First, these beneficial bacteria produce GABA, your brain's natural chill pill. GABA calms anxiety and promotes relaxation. Most people with depression and anxiety have low GABA levels. Second, they produce short-chain fatty acids and reduce inflammation in your brain. Depression is now recognized as an inflammatory condition, and these bacteria act like natural anti-inflammatories. Third, they strengthen your gut lining, preventing toxins from leaking into your bloodstream and traveling to your brain. Remember, a leaky gut leads to a leaky brain. And then fourth, they increase the production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of it as a fertilizer for your brain cells, and low BDNF is directly linked to depression. Now, the depression gut connection, here's what most people don't realize. Depression often starts in the gut, not the brain. I've had countless patients who developed depression after taking antibiotics, which wipes out the good gut bacteria, going through a stressful period. Stress kills beneficial bacteria. Eating a processed food diet, if you're in America, probably 80% of people do. And this feeds bad bacteria. Having food poisoning or a stomach flu disrupts the microbiome. So if you get depressed after you get sick, this could be why. So one patient, Jennifer, she developed severe depression after a round of antibiotics for a sinus infection. She was put on 3 different antidepressants over 2 years with no improvement. We tested her gut. She had virtually no beneficial bacteria left. You can actually see these bacteria in gut health tests. So we gave her this specific probiotic strain, and within 6 weeks, her depression lifted for the first time in 2 years. She's now been medication-free for over a year. Isn't that incredible? And why doctors don't know this? You might be wondering, if this research is so compelling, why isn't your doctor telling you about it? Well, here's 3 reasons. First, medical schools spend maybe 2 hours on nutrition and gut health and 4 years of training. Isn't that crazy? Doctors aren't simply educated about the microbiome. Second, there's no money in probiotics for pharmaceutical companies. They can't patent a naturally occurring bacteria, so there's no incentive to promote this research. Third, it challenges the entire psychiatric model. If depression can be fixed with bacteria, what does that say about the billions spent on antidepressants? So the right strain matters. Here's something critical. Not all probiotics are created equal. Most probiotics you buy at the store won't help with the depression because they don't contain these specific strains. You need Lactobacillus helveticus R0052 and Bifidobacterium longum R0175, and you need them in therapeutic dosage. The research says about 3 billion CFUs of each strain daily. Also, these strains need to be clinically studied, not just random bacteria, properly manufactured so they just survive stomach acid, stored correctly to maintain potency, and free from fillers and additives that can cause reactions. I've seen people waste hundreds of dollars on generic probiotics that do nothing for their mood because they don't contain the right strains. Here are other mood supporting strains. While 2 strains are the superstars for depression, other strains can support mental health too. So Lactobacillus rhamnosus reduces anxiety and stress levels. Lactobacillus casei improves mood and reduces inflammation. Bifidobacterium breve supports GABA production, and Lactobacillus plantarum reduces anxiety-like behaviors. The key is getting a probiotic that contains multiple mood-supporting strands, not just random bacteria that might help digestion. So, supporting your mood microbes, taking the right probiotic is just the first step. You also need to feed these beneficial bacteria so they can thrive. Prebiotic foods that feed good bacteria are garlic and onions, asparagus and artichokes, green bananas, oats and flax seeds. Okay, so with oats, be very careful about that one, especially if you do have a sensitivity to them. You may, you could cause some gut inflammation with that one, so be careful. Foods that support mood bacteria are fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi, bone broth that heals the gut lining, omega-3 rich fish reduces brain inflammation, and then dark leafy greens. These provide folate for neurotransmitter production. You want to avoid foods that kill mood bacteria, sugar and processed foods, artificial sweeteners, excessive alcohol, and foods that you're sensitive to. So if you develop any gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, brain fog after eating foods, you probably want to avoid them. Here's what to expect. When you start taking these mood-supporting probiotics, here's what you can expect. Weeks 1 through 2, you might not notice too much. The bacteria are colonizing your gut and starting to produce beneficial compounds. Week 3 through 4, this is when most people start noticing improvements, better sleep, less anxiety, more stable moods. Weeks 5 through 8, significant improvements in depression scores, increased energy, better mental clarity. Month 3 and beyond, full benefits as your gut microbiome rebalances and your gut-brain axis heals. Remember, this isn't a quick fix like a drug. You're literally rebuilding the microbiome, which takes time. Now, here's some success stories. Let me share two with you real quick. Mark was a 42-year-old executive, had been on antidepressants for 5 years after a divorce. He wanted to get off them, but every time he tried, the depression came back worse. We started him on these specific probiotic strains while slowly tapering his medication under medical supervision. And he is now medication free for 18 months and says he feels better than he did even before his depression started. And then Lisa, a 28-year-old new mom, developed postpartum depression and anxiety. Instead of going on medication while breastfeeding, we used targeted probiotics and gut healing. Her depression lifted in 6 weeks, and she was able to enjoy motherhood without the fog of medication. Isn't this amazing? So the pharmaceutical cover-up, here's what really bothers me, is this research has been available for over a decade, yet most psychiatrists have never heard of it. The antidepressant market is worth $15 billion annually. If people knew they could potentially fix their depression with a $30 probiotic, that would be a massive threat to pharmaceutical profits. Instead, people are kept on medications that often don't work, have terrible side effects, and create dependency. It's a tragedy of epic proportions. So if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, or mood issues, I want you to explore this natural approach, and I've developed a prebiotic probiotic supplement to help with this. I'm going to put the link in the description below, and if you want to try it and you don't notice anything, you can always request a refund, but we see phenomenal results with it. So closing, remember that your gut bacteria are literally controlling your mood right now. When you change your microbiome, you change your mental state. Depression doesn't have to be a life sentence, and I'm Dr. Strong, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll reveal the one food that can heal almost any gut condition in just 7 days. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, share it, give me feedback, comment on, if you've used probiotics or prebiotics and what your results were. I would love to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.